Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Isla Paradiso bunch. We have the same crew as before, including Kitty Cat, who joined us last episode. In this episode, Judy revives some dead life plants. They've died due to lack of care, and Judy has a green thumb as well as being top of gardening skills, so she is able to revive some of them. Unfortunately, some of them are beyond even Judy's considerable skills and powers. She wants to go to town to consign some of her elixirs after she's finished this job, but she's all smelly, so she has a bath in an interesting location of her choice, not mine. The pixies were in the wishing well, so I decided to let you see them again and sent Craig down there to do some fishing. He catches a death fish among a few other different types of fish. Hayley goes diving. She doesn't have any luck, but she does meet up with a mermaid. Then she decides to befriend the mermaid because a mermaid, if you become its best friend, might show you an island. And we want to find all of the hidden islands. So Hayley summons a mermaid and befriends the mermaid. Then she goes diving again, and she fights a shark. And that's about it. Oh, yeah, Sam actually is continuing with his lifeguard career, and he's still patrolling the beach. He's working on that on his own at this point. It takes a long time to get past the first level of a lifeguard career. And he needs to get up to the top level, and he needs to rescue 35 people out of the water who are drowning. And then he'll find an island as well. Hayley has still got high hopes of finding Refuge Island. Let's see what happens. As you can see, Judy's still busily trying to rescue all of these life plant bushes. She does manage to save 4 of them. Apparently the gardeners that we're hiring aren't doing a very good job. I would have expected that all of the plants should survive without any input from the household, but it looks like they still need to do some work in their garden if they want to keep it nice. When Judy finishes in the garden, she goes off and has a bath in Stella's bathtub. I was very surprised when I saw this happening. When she had finished her bath, she went back downstairs and started pulling elixirs off the shelves, put them in her inventory to take to Carter's Corner store. There's a magic shop in that Savvy Seller store, and that magic shop has an elixir register. And here's Judy heading off to take her elixirs to the elixir consignment register. She looks like she's about to use the household boat, not a water taxi. So I suppose if Hayley goes out diving later, she'll have to take the water taxi because Judy's got their boat. It wasn't a very long boat ride. She soon reached the other side and ran up to the road. Now, of course, Judy doesn't need a car. This is where Hayley usually gets into the family automobile, but Judy's a witch, and she goes by broom. Just watch her for a little while as she goes straight through the taxis and travels all the way to Carter's Corner store on her broom. The scenery in Isla Paradiso is very pretty at the moment with all those oranges and yellows and browns in the autumn leaves. Judy soon arrives at the street outside Carter's Corner store, and I was fascinated to see a group of 3 fans rotating in midair. It turned out it was a food truck, just hadn't rendered yet. At the front of Carter's Corner store is a display of plants from the garden shop, which is just there inside where the plants are. And Judy goes shopping and she buys a few pot plants to put around. As you can see, those pot plants are all sitting on Savvy Seller rugs. Judy squats a bit to buy, and you can see the money floating up and simoleons signs going up through the air when she actually buys something. We'll leave that now, and I'll let her move on to the next part of her day's activities. She's buying one more plant. I'll put these around their house when she goes home later. That will be Hayley going home. She's been out diving. We're trying to get her diving skill up as high as possible. She needs to do a lot of diving and snorkeling to do that. As soon as she's up high enough, we'll start going into more difficult dive lots where she's got a better chance of being able to fight a shark. And while all of this is going on, Sam's at work patrolling the beach. He's almost up to level 2 on the lifeguard career. He runs up and down the beach. I can't see any actual swimmers, but he's still gaining experience. And I'm just leaving him to it. I haven't controlled him. I've sent him to run up and down the beach a couple of times, but there's not much else he can do, and he doesn't need me there. I've just got to try to send him every time he's got work available, and that's about it for the moment, while I concentrate on finding some islands, because Judy's close to be able to get another island as well, and Hayley is working on 2 islands at the moment. When Judy arrives at the magic shop, we discover that there's nobody tending the elixir register. So after a while, I just decide to remove that person and we hire a replacement elixir store register person. I use an NRAS mod to actually do this little trick, and I pick somebody from the list of unemployed. I think it must be Master Controller that I'm using. There's the list, and I just grab a random name. I don't even wait for their pictures to appear. Just pick somebody who I don't know anything about. It's just that they're unemployed. That's all I needed to know, and they should at least turn up to man the register for long enough for Judy to be able to consign her elixirs that she's got in her inventory. So here comes Judy, hoping to have somebody there so she can consign her elixirs, but there's nobody at the register yet. So she spots a magic jelly bean bush and decides that would be just the thing to take home with her to see what might happen should her housemates or a visitor decide to eat a jelly bean. It costs her almost half of the household funds to buy that jelly bean bush, so they're going to have to start actually selling a lot of things shortly. And here comes the elixir store attendant. She has just arrived for work, and now Judy can consign her elixirs. She's got quite a few of them in her inventory. Hopefully they'll sell, because their money is down to about 600 simoleons, and they'll need a lot more than that. They've got to furnish their second house in the basement over at the island that they were building. A lot of things they need yet. Anyway, here she is. She's going to buy a book on alchemy for some strange reason. I don't understand that one either. Because they all are great alchemists, and most of them are pretty close to the top of the alchemy skill already. And so she buys alchemy level 1 book. Not a good idea, Judy. So let's hope they make some money out of these elixirs. Back at home, in their top level basement, the gardeners are busy at work on the garden. I see Muriel's sculpture of an elephant is still in the room. I like having that elephant in the room. A few of the Sims are there having a chat. A few hours later, while it's still very dark, Hayley runs down to the beach. She's decided that she needs to befriend that mermaid, Mia Azul. So she's going to summon the mermaid. She's the only mermaid that Hayley knows, so that's the only one Hayley can actually summon and hope to befriend. But Mia's hot-headed. I'm not too sure that she's going to actually show the island to Hayley anyway. But Hayley's got to give it a go. It's going to be a lot of talking on Hayley's part to befriend Mia Azul. Here we go. I wonder where she is. I've noticed that you never see Mia actually arriving. She's nowhere to be seen. Then all of a sudden, She's just there. Hayley and Mia chat for hours on end. Hour after hour they talk. Now you might notice I had a go at fixing Mia Azul's scales. I took her into Karate Sim and added scales to her legs, and I gave her a tail by doing the unlock outfits cheat. Unfortunately, as soon as she bumped into Hayley underwater and they started chatting, the tail just vanished. And then I found out a new way of fixing a mermaid. And I've just tried that in my game, which I haven't recorded yet, so it's a long way ahead of this video. And the new way actually worked perfectly. What you do is you need Master Controller, and you go into Master Controller Intermediate, and you choose to remove Occult Type, which is Mermaid. And then you go back into Master Controller Intermediate, and you choose to add Occult Type, which is Mermaid. And then the scales appear on her legs, and they're proper scales this time, not the ones that I got out of Karate Sim. So hopefully she's fixed for good now. People assure me that she will be. After chatting for many hours, all about kelp and scales and fish and sharks and shells and all sorts of things, Hayley and Mia Azul eventually become best friends. And Hayley invites Mia to go back home with her. I thought it would be a good idea for her to do that because the sun's finally come up. We don't want Mia drying out or dying by being in the sun and getting all dry. Because mermaids are like that. They need to keep wet. Now, one of their favourite topics of conversation is discussing kelp recipes. So I suppose it's only reasonable that when they get back into the kitchen, Hayley should get the recipe books out and they start really looking up recipes and reading them and learning all about cooking kelp recipes and other recipes in the kitchen. Shortly it's time for Hayley to go diving again. Looks like she's scored the family boat this time. She's not using the water taxi. I think she's secretly hoping that Mia Azul will turn up in the dive lot and that Mia will show her to the Mermaid Island. I wish she would, but I think Mia needs to have a much longer friendship with Hayley before that's going to happen, if it happens at all. It's entirely up to Mia to decide when or if to do that. So Hayley can work on her diving skill, just swim around a bit, see if she can find some fish. Hello, Mia Azul has turned up. See, she's got the tail that I gave her in Karate Sim. Her feet look really weird in that. I know she hasn't got a tail, she's lost it already. But her feet still look weird in the tail that I'd given her. So she really needed to be fixed some other way. Hopefully, using Master Controller to remove her occult type and then put it back again will have done the trick. Hayley and Mia were getting along so well, chatting about all sorts of fishy things and underwater things like seashells and fish and sharks and kelp recipes. Then some townie turns up. The only diver I can control under this water at the moment is Hayley. All of the others are either townies or a mermaid, and none of them are of any control by me at all. It's just Hayley that I can control. I think Mia wants to go up and chat to that townie. She's left Hayley. Hayley decides it's time to go home anyway, so she's off back up to the surface. And that's it for that dive. I was pleased to see the unicorn in town. Jeannie needs to adopt a unicorn to get her lifetime wish. She wants to be the fairy tale finder. Back at home, Muriel's cooking something in the oven, and Diana's playing a game with Kitty Cat. Meanwhile, the pixies have come out and Sam's gone down to fish. That salt and sand gnome that you can see in the foreground there came out of the wishing well. Not quite sure who actually caught it, but they come out in a box They pull out this box and they open it up and the gnome jumps out into their inventory. Then I go into the inventory and I pull the gnome out of the inventory and put it on the ground. Or you could sell it for about 1,000 simoleons, but they've got other ways to earn money, and I like the gnomes. Did you see him catch the death fish a while ago? And they sure do catch a lot of sharks in that wishing well. Here you can see the Salt and Sam gnome just sitting there now waiting. I think we've seen enough pixies for tonight. We'll probably see them again in other videos. One thing is, when you get really close to them like that, sometimes if your sound's turned up loud, you can hear them chatting to each other. Sam was very tired, so I sent him to bed. Then I went to check on him and found he wasn't sleeping, he was just napping. And here he is having his nap. There's a little dog gnome there guarding him. We're getting more and more of those little dog gnomes in this game. When I told Sam to go to sleep, he had to wake up first, and then he gets under the covers and sleeps. Good night, Sam. So Hayley's gone diving again. This time her diving skill has got up high enough for her to go and swim in the Mermaid's grotto. Hopefully she'll come across some more interesting looking fish, and maybe even a shark that wants to fight her. We'll have to wait and see. Oh look, seahorses. Now that's an interesting new fish that we haven't seen in one of Hayley's dives before. We can't stay and watch them for long though, because if we do that, we won't get anywhere with the story. I will actually be putting all this together in another diving video shortly, where you can just sit back and relax and watch all that goes on in the dive. Hayley's come across a treasure chest. I wonder if she can open that one. Doesn't look like she can. Oh no, it says her diving skill isn't high enough. She's got to do more diving and more snorkeling, and then she can come back and have another go at that treasure chest. Let's wander around a bit further and see what else there is to see, and there is a pair of tragic clownfish. Hayley could maybe catch one of them, or both, if there's really two there. Sometimes you see two fish like that together, and there actually is only one. When you catch one, the other goes, just vanishes. But sometimes there's actually really two there, and you can catch them both. Looks like there's some sharks appearing. I hope Hayley notices them, and if she does know they're there, she'll be watching them, because she needs to watch them if she's going to get into a shark fight. She's also got her inventory with lots of fish and steaks in her inventory to encourage the sharks to want to fight with her. But she's not having any luck so far. However, one of those sharks might come and attack, and then she can have her fight that she so wants, so she can find Refuge Island. It's all very quiet there at the moment, nothing much happening. That shark, what's it doing? It seems to be taking a bit of an interest in it. Oh, there's another diver down there with it too. I don't know who that is. It's not one of our household. Hello, what's going on here? She's got a attack shark and a little fishing shark. Whoops, fight. Come on, Hayley. You can do it. I do hope she does actually do it. I don't want her to lose her as a ghost. We'll either have a ghost of Hayley or we'll have the way to Refuge Island at the end of this fight. We'll see what happens. It's going on for a while. Come on, Hayley, you can do it. Keep on fighting that shark. Don't give up. Just stick to it. Come on, Hayley. That shark is really getting going for her. Oops, she's still alive. Fight's over. Looks like she won. Shark's gone. Good on you, Hayley. Congratulations. You go and catch that other little shark before you go over to deliver your good news to the folks at Nautilus Industries. Is she going to catch it? I hope so, because she needs to catch some more fish. Yep, she's got it. And now, up to the surface you go, Hayley, because you've got to go and deliver your news to Nautilus Laboratory. She's worked so hard for this place to tell her where Refuge Island is, and she's finally got her diving skill up, and then she's fought a shark and won. And now it's up to them. They need to tell her how to find... What's this? What are they saying? This is not good. Not uncharted? You lost the chart? Wow, thanks. Okay. I'm convinced Refuge Island is actually easy to find. There's an old map at Town Hall that will point the way. Search the dilapidated cartography section. Objective. Search for map at Civic Centre. Reward, none. Would you like to accept this opportunity? Guess you'll have to. And here she is arriving at Town Hall, where she can search the old cartography section. While she's in there, we'll have a little look around and see what we can find around town. I haven't had a good look at what's in the centre of town yet. So that's City Hall, and it's all trees. This is autumn, so we've got lots of nice oranges and browns and yellows in the leaves. That pink house on the left, that's Christopher Collins' house. That's where she started this adventure to try to find Refuge Island. I suppose all we can do now is just wait and see what happens. Let's hope she finds the chart, or the map, or whatever it is she's looking for. I don't know how we're going to find out. Might be another message or something pops up on the screen. No, what's happening? The game has taken control. I think it's found another island. She must have found the map. And there's Refuge Island appearing out of the fog. It's only a tiny lot on this. I think it's about 25 by 30 or something like that. Yeah, 25 by 30 lot. So they're not going to be able to do much on this island. But Hayley's found it. So that's 4 islands now, I think, that they've actually uncovered at this point. It's only 4 to go. And then we will have found all of the islands that can be found. This one is exciting for me because I've never actually uncovered this island before, so it's all new to me. Let's see what Hayley does with it. Here she comes, arriving in her little boat just in the little cove near where the house is. There's fishing spawner there. Better check what fish are there. Unfortunately, Hayley's fishing skill isn't high enough and she hasn't read all the books, so we'll have to use Judy to tell us what fish are there. It seems we have red herring, tragic clownfish, blowfish, shark, angelfish, ninja starfish, luminous salamander, and fairy damsel. So they can go fishing here when they need any of those fish types. And now Hayley has gradually made her way inside that little shack, and she's going to explore what's outside. She's enjoying being a genie. She's very happy by the look of it. Just get her to sit and relax on that chair. After all her hard work, she deserves a little rest. It's a shame it's snowing. She could be out there in her bikini in the tropics and drinking a nice cool drink. But she's all rugged up. It's just so cold. And it's not even winter yet. It's still just autumn in this game. I'd like to see what's inside that little house. When we have a quick look at it, we discover there's nothing much there at all, just a bed and an all-in-one bathroom. So I think we'll leave it here for now while Hayley relaxes on her hard-won refuge island. I hope you've enjoyed the video. In the next video, we'll be concentrating on finding 2 islands, one that Judy can find, another one that Mir Azul might show to Hayley. So goodbye for now. Thank you for watching, and carrots out.